Mhm. Okay. So, continuing with our children as teachers, and I guess the flip of that is us as students, uh, looking at the fact that real authority can be influenced. So, we are products of our environment. Um, that's scientific, that's human nature. Uh, saltwater fish have certain traits, freshwater fish have other traits. So, to be raised in a capitalist, hierarchical environment means that it will still affect how we operate. And for many of us living in the US, our understanding of power is top down. Uh, Someone's in charge, someone's running the show. There's a threat. Power has a punishing capability to it, or a harming capability to it, which is which unfortunately sometimes is translated into our homes and our relationships. So I want to share about places where I've seen uh, places where I've seen leadership be influenced, and how much more dynamic it is, how much more invested everyone is, how people don't feel like they're working towards someone else's vision. They feel like it is a shared vision. So in our home, we've had for a while we were having pretty regular family meetings, and we were having them because one of my children at a family conference came home sharing with us about family meetings. So in that vein, she was teaching us, sharing about family meetings. So we were like, okay. And we met for a while, from them being small, like maybe elementary age, into high school. We really need to start up again. We met with the three I gave birth with. We met with their older siblings whenever they were in the house. Talked about the books we read, celebrated the things we had come through. And in there, we had a family mission statement. And uh, we would say the family mission statement at the beginning of the meetings. The family mission statement crystallized, summarized a lot of the things that we did together as a family, the values that we held as a family. Um, and I know that it's been communicated because of some of the things that I hear my children say. So it's their values that they hold, even as they're getting older, even as they're leaving the house, even as they may be shifting in their expression of those things, that those core beliefs are still with them. So even in that instance, something that became a regular part of our family experience was happening because one of the children brought it to our attention, shared with us it was something that could be done. It wasn't in hierarchical ways. It wasn't top down thinking. A child shared that, and we were like, "That's pretty dope." Um, and in leading it as parents, we were able to further instill in our children various values. So that's one instance. The school, and I mention them a lot because they're dear, and I think it would be valuable for anyone to connect with them, is the school that my children recently attended, Aya Educational Institute, with Baba Wakesa and Mama Afia Madzimoyo. Whenever the children would do community presentations, so they would do presentations about from some class based on some subject that they had studied toward mastery. And after their presentations, which were always dynamic and amazing, from the youngest to the oldest, the community were asked and encouraged to ask them questions um, about the presentation, making sure they're engaging the children in their thought, uh, that the children can explain it in more than one direction, that they really have a grasp or an understanding of what is happening. So, um, where was I going? So the other thing they were taught was, when asked a question, even though these are courses that they've been studying for 9 weeks, 18 weeks, 36, could have been the whole year. Uh, the teachers and the founders of the school have always encouraged the children that if you don't know, it's okay to say, I'll get right back to you. I will figure that out and get back to you. And there were many ways for the children to communicate outside of those things. There were family chats, teacher chats, emails that went home. Uh, there were other presentations. But even in teaching that to the children, is teaching them that even though you are the authority on this topic, it is okay. It is encouraged. It shows a different kind of leadership for you to be able to say, I don't know, but I'll get back to you, as opposed to spewing something that doesn't make any sense or trying to maintain some appearance of knowing it all and authority in that way. And I even in them saying, some of the students would answer as far as they knew and then say, I'll get back to you on the rest. And it was modeled by the teachers as well. And again, like I said in one of the earlier videos this week, my desire and my working toward creating authority with my children is that it's based on respect and love and knowing that I'll protect them. Not that it's based on fear or not being able to talk to me or feeling like mama's going to bring the hammer down. I've even said to my children, if you're in trouble, I'd rather you come to me so I can help you than to find out later something was terrible for you and you never leaned in. You never reached out. Uh, Anger is an evil thing. Sadness, grieving is what I would feel. We can deal with it, if they share. I'm in their corner. And when we've taught the children, even before they ended up in other institutions, when I was teaching them in the home, one of the uh, leaders we spoke about a lot was Mansa Musa. No, we did speak about Mansa Musa, but Sunjata. And one of the reasons we spoke about Sunjata is because as a king, Sunjata brought together many different regions and provinces, I think is a good word, and many different people under one banner. And the stories and the history books say that he was so wonderful at bringing these people together and making them feel that they were a part of the vision, a part of the uh, kingdom and majesty that he was building, that they felt it was theirs. They felt committed to the growth of it as part of the ownership of it, as opposed to um, we are we are peons in this, and we are just low ranking scrubs, and we're going to come in and do as we're told, because the higher ups keep everything for themselves. They don't explain anything to us. We're not a part of the decision making. We just, we learn this much so that we can make sure that they amass wealth and power, which is the type of power that I've seen most of my life um, when it comes to uh, government and leadership. Oh, there it is. I was looking for a safety pin in stress. Um, and so in that, we use Sunjata to talk about leadership that included the people, leadership that recognized the people's power, and leaders uh, in our story, in our tradition, who have managed to do that, they did a wonderful job of activating people around common needs, common visions, common goals. We think about Fred Hampton. Same thing has happened. You think about Ella Baker, Fannie Lou Hamer. There's so many who were able to connect the needs of the people to the power of those people and power of other people, which is what made them so frightening to our government. Um, so, in that vein, when thinking about letting our children teach, and it's not even letting them because they're teaching all the time, but receiving the lessons that are being given through them, by them, and not feeling like their authority is challenged, is to make sure that one, you are providing the protection, the safety, the love for those children that causes them to depend on your wisdom as they're building their own, and to respect that that is what you are offering, that we are modeling how we respect our elders. and that everyone in the family and the children see modes of leadership where everyone has a voice, where everyone can be up. And if that's how you're leading, then your authority is never in danger. Even if, as people, children, and people in general, because as soon as I say children, I realize it's the case. Humans are humans, and some of the things that we do as children, without maturity and introspection and self-knowledge, we just repeat the same patterns as adults. So when people rebel, when they are hot in the mouth, disrespectful, if they're really in a place where they're safe, sometimes they're more hot in the mouth than they're in a place that's safe. That's safe. But if they're really in a place of safety and it's been modeled to them how to raise their concerns, share their disagreement, whatever minor feeling of discomfort comes, it won't last forever. It's not. It's not their baseline. Their baseline is safety, love, dependency, interdependency, and respect. So whatever bubbles up, it will subside. And as opposed to reacting to any of those places with a white knuckled grip on, I'm the one in charge. You better respect. It's to stop them. Is to restate what our relationship is, what my responsibility is to you, and how I cannot do it if you are behaving this way, and to bring evenness to it, because we still want to be able to engender communication. As they're growing, our desire is to have healthy communication so we can help them navigate. But as they continue to grow and become mature, and for many of them become support for us as we age, we want to be able to share with them what our needs are. We want to be able to share with them our perspective without them flipping the script and doing to us as we taught them, or they white knuckle their position of help and resource and all of those things. Like I said yesterday, pouring into our children's reciprocal, even before they are able to actively, from a healthy place, from a mature place, give that to us. Anytime that there is nourishment, love, and care given in one direction, there's always the opportunity for that love, nourishment, and nurturing to be given in the other direction. I see opportunity because everybody doesn't do that. And then that's another lesson on boundaries and what do you do and all those things. But there is the opportunity for that. There's always an opportunity for that. And that's the responsibility of each person in that exchange. There's a proverb that says, the doctor does not take the medicine for the patient. So if you are in the place of giving and the person who's receiving refuses to take it and refuses to rise to the opportunity to be able to give back, that's not your call. If you are in the place of receiving and someone is giving to you and you make the choice not to receive the medicine, you have authority, you have autonomy, you can choose to not grow, you can choose to remain ill. That's the blessing of having free will and power. So anyway, this is Reverend Okonkwo Walimu, Yogi, Sister Mama Adi, saying, see you tomorrow. Peace.